Hey everyone, today I'm going to review the best snowboard jacket brands. Now I'm going to start with a quick discussion of what different snowboard brands are usually made of. So you've probably read about Gore-Tex. Even if you're buying a different jacket, you can see here a lot of different brands. You're going to see Gore-Tex probably printed somewhere in the discussion. That's because Arcteryx, for example, there we are. Arcteryx is a very popular brand. I use them a lot for their waterproofing abilities, but they are made with Gore-Tex. So you can see here Gore-Tex, Gore-Tex, EPE. I'll come back to that part later. So there are several big brands that use Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is the proprietary name for the company that invented the polytetrafluoroethylene, or PTFE. So that is, the same as Teflon. It's what you find on your non-stick pans, only it's a stretched out version. And that stretchy version means that it lets more air through without letting the water molecules through. So the design of these Gore-Tex jackets, or any other brand, Volcom, that uses Gore-Tex, has that breathability and that airflow with the waterproofing outside. Now, I would like to point out that it's very important to understand that this non-stick synthetic fluoropolymer is both breathable and waterproof. However, because of pure physics, it cannot be both at the same time, which is why you've probably seen right here, right? Waterproofing, ultimate breathability, regular fit, no insulation, right? So this particular design, no insulation, because it's meant to be put over your regular layers, right? And it's meant to be breathable and waterproof. I cannot stress enough that physics simply doesn't allow that to coexist. It can be waterproof on the outside, not letting water in. It can also be breathable from the inside, letting air flow through. But if you get caught in a snowstorm on the mountain, you will now have nothing. You will now have just a wet, soppy jacket and a humid body, because physics won't allow it to be both breathable and waterproof at the same time. There are plenty of tests that have been done in laboratories to confirm this, and unfortunately many major brands, which are perfectly great, use Gore-Tex. And obviously that original PTFE was found to be very bad for the water and the environment, so they've now moved away. And that's why you'll find brands that use a different version. I said we'd come back to that. You'll find brands that don't use, if they do use Gore-Tex material, they use EPE. So that's just a modified version that doesn't harm the environment as much. So that is something to look for. You will find that because Gore-Tex is trademarked, any and all other snowboard jacket companies that use any of that material, they have to use machines that were built by Gore-Tex. They have to use tape that was manufactured by Gore-Tex. They have to put the label Gore-Tex everywhere. That's why you'll see Gore-Tex EPE here under the free ride jacket, under the pants, under any company that uses any of that breathable material. You will find the label Gore-Tex. See, Gore-Tex 2L from Burton. Even Burton uses Gore-Tex. So there are a lot of good companies out there, but bear in mind, they do use that Gore-Tex. And that means you're going to be really well off if it is a dry day, you're snowboarding in the Rockies and you need a lot of breathability, or if you need a lot of waterproofing because it's raining out. But as soon as it gets wet on top and humid underneath from your body heat, which, let's face it, unless you're standing in line, is going to happen, you're going to get those swampy conditions. So that's why I personally like zip pits, the pit zips, those zippers in the armpits, so that you can kind of aid that breathability that you're just not going to get naturally. Again, physics is not going to be your friend here. That said, Burton is a great brand. I really like Burton. We used them for a while. They have a specialized line series built for technical writing. So that line series really focuses on durability and mobility. And I love being able to move a lot in my jacket. I don't like feeling like I'm wearing a straight jacket, but you are going to have to contend with Gore-Tex if you don't get that AG jacket. So this is the brand, or sorry, the series that I prefer for more mobility, especially if you are doing a lot of technical riding or backcountry riding. So, right, if you're hitting the backside of North Face or the backside of Heavenly, that's going to be just fine. However, I found that after just a couple of seasons, my Burton gear started ripping on the inside. So, didn't really appreciate that. Patagonia is another great brand. They have a lot of high quality materials. So one of the things I like about Patagonia in terms of their jackets is that environmentally friendly design. So you're going to pay more, but you also won't have to deal with that Gore-Tex issue where you are struggling with that original PTFE. So here you're going to see they have the 2-layer Gore-Tex EPE fabric. So that is much more environmentally friendly. It does have that DWR finish on it, which PS, you can just buy that and like spray it on your own clothes and make things water repellent. So it has that, which is nice. But again, just remember, you will wear this either for its waterproofing or its breathability, not for both at the same time. The North Face, okay, you know, I still use them for their waterproofing. I do like a lot of their jackets. And I used both Patagonia and the North Face for a lot of really cold, dry conditions. So I like that they have good quality. They have the dry vent waterproofing, and they do have some insulated models, as you can see here, good snowboarding jackets that have multiple layers, more breathability, and that synthetic fill. So if it's very cold, you're going to be able to adapt here, taking off that dry vent shell layer and removing it from the insulation thermal ball liner. And you can wear one, you can wear both, or, you know, just leave one of them at home, leave it in your bag, leave it in your truck. Then we have 686. So I like this brand because of their quality. They have a good balance with price point, with waterproofing. You're going to see that their jackets are already a little bit more affordable than some of the other options. These old-fashioned jackets, these look like the jackets I bought when I first started boarding. I love these. So you're going to see a lot of loose fit. You're going to see pretty good waterproofing here. Those nice zippers here in the armpits, and these small little features make it totally worth it, right? Freezing, it's windy, you need to be able to wrap it over your face. This saves me so much. I do actually have this brand and this particular model because I can just put it over my face. So, you know, you don't think about it being that cold when you're moving, but hot dang, that wind, it'll bite, it'll break your chin, mouth, and I don't like wearing the full piece over my head because that can kind of interfere with, you know, ponytail in the back. So this makes it a lot easier for me. Arcteryx is something I looked into after my Burton started ripping. I was pretty happy with Arcteryx overall. I do like the brand. It's reputable. It's you know, designed for good performance. It's very durable. Nothing has torn or ripped yet, but bear in mind it does have that Gore-Tex option. And then my most recent purchase was Helly Hansen. So this is what the ski patrol wears in Tahoe. Like you'll see everyone at Heavenly wearing this brand. We saw them in the Alps wearing this brand. And honestly, I have no complaints. I love Helly Hansen. It's very high quality. It doesn't have the same zippers in the armpits or like the interior pockets for my goggles and whatnot, but you know, I keep those over my helmet anyway. I usually just put them in my helmet when I take my helmet off, but I do have this shell jacket. I wear it all the time. The pockets are really well designed. It is pretty form-fitting, and I love the hood design as well. Obviously, it says you can put your goggles in here. I don't. Like, they're just never going to fit. You do have these zippers, a lot of these Velcro ties to make sure that, you know, everything stays where it needs to without bumping your gloves off. So huge fan of this one in particular. Makes it really easy to have my my phone and my pass, my season pass, just right in that front pocket. I wear it even when I'm not boarding. So there are a lot of great brands. Obviously, you can choose, you know, where you shop from their website directly is going to cost you a lot more. And that's why I usually shop at Tactics. So Tactics gives me a lot of different options for men's and women's boards, as well as clothing and accessories. I really like Arcteryx for the series performance. I mean, Burton, especially the AK series, is really great for technical riding and backcountry. Patagonia is good if your focus is more on sustainability, but all of those are going to have that Gore-Tex in them. So if you're trying to do away from the Gore-Tex technology, 686 is great. The North Face has that good dry vent waterproofing, and of course, Helly Hansen has really high quality jackets.